Hare Krishna. Thank you, Peter Turanec, if I pronounced that correctly. And thanks for the painting. I really like it. And this is what I call thinking outside the box. This guy's a genius. Look, it's turned the box inside out and sent it in there. That's what it's all about. Reduce, reuse, recycle. And there you go. And it's a box from the outside. It's just perfect for sending in the post. And even in these days, when this photograph was taken, the original photograph was taken, the forest was devastated then. Logging going on. Poor guy, wondering where to go next. And so another reason why we need hemp, because we don't have to do all this logging and what have you. And originally hemp was used for boats, ships and sails, and also artists would use it as a canvas. The sails were canvas and they would be made of hemp. So another reason. And I went into a shop the other day, a globalist shop, to buy a rucksack, and I just took one look at it, and it had these like net pockets on the side, and all the back was covered in net. It's supposed to cool you down and all this stuff. And I said, look, there's 3 or 4 faults, improvements that you could make there. Because as soon as that netting gets caught on a first bush you go through, or whatever, trees and things, you'll get caught and it'll rip and look tatty. When you buy these backpacks, you think, oh, they're going to last 10 years or something like that, but they don't. They just last like a couple of years, 3, 4. But if they were made of hemp, they would last for 100 years. And that's why artists used to use hemp canvases, if I'm not mistaken. I would say that's what the canvas was made of, but I'm not absolutely sure about that, but I would say that that's what it was, because hemp will last 100 years, more. And so if there's anybody out there who's manufacturing hemp, don't go mixing it with cotton, because that defeats the whole object, doesn't it? Cotton won't last long. Cotton will last 10 years, but hemp will last 100 years. Hemp will last 10 times longer. So, we've got to start thinking in better ways, and that's what the truth movement's all about, isn't it? I really noticed one feature here, and that's his leg. He's treading through the snow, so his knee has come up really high to get over the snow. So in that way, to me, not this painting, but the original photograph that it was painted from, suggests that there's some genuine it's a genuine action, isn't it? He's really swinging his arms to get through the snow and lifting his feet up high to get through the snow. So I went down my local rubbish, I don't know, recycling centre. That's what they call them now, I think. Where they separate all the rubbish, all the batteries, the light bulbs, the televisions, and put them all in different skips and all that sort of thing. And the plastics and the cardboards and all that. And I went up to the staff there, working there, and I asked one of them, told him all about this reduce, reuse, recycle, and explained it all to him. And he said, "Oh, what do you want a plastic bucket for?" And so I told him that as well. And I went through all this thing. And you know what he said after I'd explained it all? He said, "Oh, if you tell the council that you want a new recycling bin for your foodstuffs, you can get a brand new one." I thought, oh man, these people just don't care, do they? He's working in a recycling job. I explaining it to him, and he's telling me to go and get a brand new plastic bin. Whopping great big brand new thing. Like, until we turn to Krishna, you're going to be this kind of person that just doesn't give a damn about anything except yourself and your own family. And it's very important to... This is the golden life. This is the golden life, going back to the spiritual worlds. And Krishna informs us that there are 8,400,000 species. And back in the 60s, one of his disciples asked him as he was walking along, he said, "The scientists, they're saying there's 2 million species." And Srila Prabhupada said, "No, 8,400,000. Of course, if you look in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a misprint in there. If you've got an old copy, they've made a misprint on the figure. But that's what it is, 8,400,000. And 400,000 of those are human species. Therefore, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Abominable Snowman, Wookie, how many names? Oof, I don't know, quite a few, isn't there? Number 5 or something. It's quite reasonable to expect that there's a animal out there which has human features and, say, gorilla features. And so many people recently have been thinking there's no such thing as a mermaid. How do they know that? There's 8 million species and all that. They don't even know what's at the bottom of these oceans. They're so deep. But these scientists, of course, they weren't thinking outside the box at all when they came up with that 2 million figure, were they? They didn't even think about what species there were on other planets. So their figure fell well short. When all the time there's no need to speculate, there's no need to even count all these species one by one. We've got all the facts in Veda. Why speculate? And we've got the information from the highest of all authorities on all matters. And that's Lord Sri Krishna. We've got this information. If you want to know what life's about, then it's best to start reading the Veda, starting with Bhagavad Gita as it is. So I thought this was the painting I wanted done next. And I can see, right, what I've been told about this painting is that it might be offensive not to have another person in the painting with Krishna. He always should be with somebody and not just an animal, as far as I can gather. But he is with somebody. There's a body, there's somebody. And Krishna's playing the flute and they're listening attentively. So what I thought was, just in case, you could have like a head here, and then sort of like with their arms raised, sort of as though they're, dancing to the music and listening to Krishna. And I'll zoom in later on, but there's a hill here, and these hills, there's another hill there, and there's another hill in the distance. They're rolling, they're going into the distance, and it's quite simple. It's faded now. I had a lot brighter colours in there, but it's faded a little bit. And no chemtrails in the sky. Proper clouds there, you see. That's what they're supposed to be like. There's a bush here, or a leafy bush. Could be a hemp bush, couldn't it? So, some flowers down here. I thought, well, it'd be nice if there was a koala bear up there as well. Also going, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Could have a bird in the sky, could have some other animals. Just do whatever you want, just start a scratch, just don't best perhaps not to copy at all. Just do your own thing, what you think, from the descriptions that we've got about Krishna, what you think, do your interpretation of what it would be like. His skin, we are told, is the colour of, let me think, as dark as a monsoon rain cloud, but artists have come up with the colour blue, and really that's what it is, isn't it? I would have thought a monsoon, never seen one, but I would say that it would have a touch of blue in it because it's in the sky, but with artistic license they've come up with this blue. We cannot possibly conceive the beauty of Krishna. No artist has ever been able to capture it. We just from the descriptions, we're also told we just cannot conceive the beauty, the attraction, the attractiveness of Krishna. And if you were a god, you wouldn't want to be an ugly man with a beard floating around in the clouds all day. He has pastimes. He likes to be a cowherd boy and go and walk with the cows and the animals, and so I thought maybe a few more animals might be nice. A snake maybe, or things, but it's really up to you. I don't mind at all. I think that's basically it. I'll just get a closer shot for you to have a look at this, but you do whatever you want, whatever size, whatever colour. I kind of like bright colours, and some of the paintings I've seen are very kind of colourful, really, really bright. He's got a garland here around his neck. He's got this saffron cloth there. It's the young calf. Bells around the neck. It's very simple. Some pinkish toes. Some bangles around the ankles. And I guess this tree looks like maybe a banyan tree. Some sort of another tree winding around it here. Flowers in there on the leaves on the tree. And because these spiritual worlds are so massive, 4 times larger than all the material planets put together. And in all those material planets, even the heavenly planets, it's just birth, disease, old age and death, because they're material planets. This is where you've got to go if you want to get out of that cycle of birth, disease, old age and death, all that suffering, reincarnation, that continuous cycle of birth, disease, old age and death. Then chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant the holy names of the Lord, because Krishna is the source of everything. Happiness, world peace, you name it, everything. Everything. Get it? Even if you think, well, what about disease? What about wars? Well, everything, okay? Everything. He's the creator, the annihilator. He is the governor of this world. So if we want to be governed properly, we want to be governed by a true representative of the Lord. Not Obama. Or Wookie. Obama. Yeah, koala bear, that would be nice. Because what I like about it is it trains you to have compassion for animals. Because people have lost it somehow. They think these animals are for eating. And if I had a koala bear there, I don't think you can get cuter and cuddlier than a koala bear. And so that's it. Could say a lot more, but I could go on too long. This is the goal of life. It's going back home, where we came from. Somehow or another, people aren't sure about that for some reason, but they're quite willing to go to heaven. Oh yeah, but how are they going to get there if there's no such thing as reincarnation? So they tend to think, we're not sure about reincarnation. Well, how are you going to get to heaven then? And when you get to heaven, do you think there's going to be slaughterhouses for these animals there? No, they won't be. So if you've got desires to eat meat, Krishna won't put you in heaven, because your first meal, you'll be going, hey, where's the meat? Slaughterhouses are hellish houses. There would be no place for a hellish house in heaven, especially a hellish slaughterhouse every 50 miles or so, like it is here on earth. If it's not a slaughterhouse, it's a fishery, and so on like that. So there are many, many interesting facts in the Veda, You could even have a UFO up here. A lot of some of the Christian, some of them anyway, have got that in a little UFO in there. Although it needn't be strictly, like it is in the spiritual world. I've heard somebody saying that they had a vision of the spiritual world and they saw colourful snow coming down. So not just white snow, but it was all different colours. And use your imagination, cram it all in. Koala bear, UFO, snakes and cannabis plants and hemp plants and I think that's about it really. I'll just one more shot to get a close up of it because it is such a nice picture. But I really want you to do your own thing, your own style, your own colours. Make it the size, whatever size you want, and also do it in devotional service for Krishna and Peter. The two of us, I think, we need to get on with finding a true representative of the Lord, a true spiritual master, an ISKCON spiritual master. Life's short. I don't want to come back here again. This devastation, I've made videos about it. These chemtrails are just killing us all off slowly. And I've been watching them this morning even. And the chemtrail, I looked at the window, and I was watching it as I was chanting the Maha Mantra, and it just formed into a cloud. And people aren't noticing this yet. And the cloud would have looked to most people just like a cloud, as like it always been there. But you can see them being put there by what they think are contrails. They are having a laugh at us. They are, in short, this is democide, where the governments kill off their own people, and the plants are suffering. I only have to go down my local woods there, and I can see it increasing as the years, over a decade now, I've been noticing these chemtrails, and as we get worse and worse weather, less sunlight, and they're all falling down. Watch my other videos. There's not that many, so I've made a lot more than that, and I've deleted them all because I thought best to put some better ones out there. Can get this message across better. So best that they watch the better ones, and hopefully they'll get better as time goes on. Hopefully people will start to see that there is a better way, much better ways. There are better facts. We've got hard evidence. That what Krishna tells us is hard evidence. Because when you chant his holy names, you'll see for yourself with your own common sense and intelligence and his reciprocation in your life, and even true representatives of the Lord. Some of them can see Krishna face to face. Even myself, I see Krishna everywhere. People will look and see trees and things falling down, but I don't. I see Krishna's trees falling down. That's the difference between a devotee and a materialist. A materialist will say, food. And I say, Krishna's animals that he loves so dearly, because he's the well-wisher of all the living entities. And so on like that. enough said, I think. I'll just do a close-up, and thanks very much, Peter. Everybody, chant the holy names of the Lord, and we can have world peace. But if we keep going against the Lord, we're going to have more suffering. You're bringing it on yourself. You're slaughtering these animals, and that suffering returns then to the humans in equal measures, and you can see it everywhere. People suffering. They're bringing it on themselves. So these are the laws of karma. You can't escape from them. So if you want world peace, and until we can get world peace, well, you'll have peace of mind anyway. You'll be going in the right direction. It's better to go towards something good than where you're going now. This is just going to get worse and worse and worse if we don't. So this is the number one message for all humanity. In all of the Veda, is to chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What to speak of animals like that? Demigods and 2 million species. They're falling short. They're cheating us with Vedic education.